Welcome to Stuff and Things. My name is Chase.
And I'm Jess.
This is our podcast where we talk about the random stuff and things that come to our mind and influence our business and our life. And so this will be the third time we've tried to start this one here.
Third time's the charm.
The first time we noticed that our camera had a full battery, and then all of a sudden it didn't have a full battery.
Yes.
And just decided to say, nope, I'm dead.
But we also were like, we had a topic and we were talking about it. And we were both like, we are not
feeling this. So it's real funny because we talked about creative burnout last week, and we're like, man, like I don't know what to do. What do you want to do? So today,
well, to be fair, I had thought of the original idea.
She did. Yeah.
It just
didn't work out.
It just wasn't working.
It'll probably be one of those ones we put in our pocket and just save for another time.
Yeah. For sure.
But either way, then we started the second time around, and I just couldn't get words out of my mouth. So we decided to let's just try that one more time. So
third time's the charm. We've got this.
Yeah. Today we just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about just an update on us, and just kind of where we're at now that we're coming to the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's been a wild one. I feel like I say that every single episode, but 2020 has been a little crazy. And it's been just full of ups and downs, and it's been full of a lot of challenges for us, but also a lot of successes and triumphs. And
okay, George,
we just kind of want to just talk about that. I guess just like overcoming difficulties, overcoming adversity, challenging yourselves.
Yeah.
Trying to just better yourself and kind of see where it goes. But first, I guess a little update about our week. It's been another
crazy week.
Leading up to Christmas vacation. Yes. Our kids are in the final week before Christmas break. It ends this Friday.
It's like
and then,
the feeling of Christmas break week for like teachers and kids, if you didn't know, is like that of the most intense senioritis you could have.
Yeah, but like, it happens every year.
It does. And it's like, because we always do like a spirit week, festive week, at least at our school for rolling out of school, like each day gets just like more and more exciting, except for this year, there aren't any parties or anything fun. So like, it's like everybody's like all excited and hopped up, but then it's like, okay, now let's do math.
It's just a big letdown, one
really
after the other. But our kids are all online like we talked about before, and they're just cooped up and antsy and just ready to just be
rip
done.
Each other's faces
and
off.
I think that our kids' teachers are just ready to be done too. Like one of our kids legitimately has like play Minecraft as one of his assignments.
No, his assignment is really cool though. They're gonna like collectively use Minecraft to like do math and stuff. It's pretty sweet.
I mean, the last couple of days has just been log on to this server that you guys all share and build a house.
Whatever. His teacher's amazing.
I mean, his teacher's awesome. And no, I'm not complaining because I think it's pretty awesome too. But I just thought it was funny. Like I never in my wildest dreams would have thought that my teacher would have assigned me a video game for classwork.
That's true.
But it's 2020.
I don't know. Wasn't like learning hyperlinks and all of that back in the like...
It wasn't a video game.
90s. They're like, now put this in there. And you're like, yes, look what it does.
Here's PowerPoint. It's probably the coolest program that's ever come out. And it's just as lame now.
And then you would like use like what's that text called?
Oh,
like you would put it in and would like flip around.
Yeah,
and
like clip art text or whatever,
the
word art.
Yes.
Yeah, that stuff is cool. But yeah,
cool.
so
cool.
No,
that's not
cool.
what we're going with.
But so we got a late start on the podcast last week, and apologize to you guys for that. But we also got a little bit of a late start this week, so
it will still be.
We are recording on Tuesday, which is good, so it'll be on time for a release.
Yes.
But we typically try to record these on Saturday.
Yeah.
But this Saturday, Jess had a tattoo appointment, so she was off doing that. And after that, I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have tattoos, but we definitely do.
Rough.
And after you get a tattoo, like your body is just done with the world.
So done.
Especially when you get like large tattoos and your body is just like slightly in shock, but then also like just tired and done. And then you're just kind of pooped for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
After your body is just like trying to heal itself.
That's true.
So we spent Sunday just kind of laying around doing nothing, which was awesome. Well, it was fun.
We had like a Christmas get together.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it was outside with masks.
Yep.
No fears.
And then, I guess Monday started, and I just feel like this whole week I felt like a day ahead almost, like, because I just want it to be Christmas break so that you're home, one. And two, so I can stop telling our kids to get on Zoom calls for like 2 weeks. Like, that's gonna be really nice. But so I guess that's just a little bit of an update about our life right now. Business is going well still, which is good. We did start our business this year. That is one of our major successes as well as major challenges, I would say, is just trying to launch a business during a pandemic. We have a podcast episode on that. And then, just also trying to just sustain and trying to manage my time well between the kids and between, being a husband and a father, but also trying to be home with kids and run a business is definitely a challenge on its own right. We've had a couple other things, lockdown and things like that weren't necessarily challenges, but we're different.
We are. It was really fun instead of challenging. At least for me. Maybe you felt differently.
No, not me at all. I loved it. I had a great time. And I think that a lot of the news articles I've been reading lately and things like that, I think a lot of people are also having that sentiment. Yeah. Like, I think that's a lot more common, and at least it's coming out to be a lot more common than what was originally. Like, I felt like a lot of people saw lockdown as like, oh God, I gotta be stuck here with my wife, or I gotta be stuck in this house with my kids. Like,
that
and
makes
it was
me
like,
sad.
it was, a hard thing for them. But I feel like more and more people nowadays are like, yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't want to go back to like real life or work or whatever.
I actually heard a statistic today that a third of the workforce doesn't want to ever return to the office.
Yeah.
Like, globally.
Yeah.
A third of the workforce wants to stay home.
Well, it makes sense.
That's huge,
That is huge, but it makes sense. I mean, like, if you can do your job from home, like, why do you need a big multi-million-dollar office building? Well, like, there's no sense in that.
And I would say a third of the workforce, truly, if you're talking about the entirety of the workforce, that's probably all the, like, office jobs.
Yeah, because...
I could be wrong. I don't know.
Probably, but...
but, like, it seems like that would be a reasonable amount for, the office jobs as opposed to, like, labor jobs. You know what I mean? Like, where
people
you have to actually be there. You don't really have...
Yeah.
Like, teaching jobs, I don't really consider it an office job.
Well, I think it's huge too. I mean, that's a big thing to overcome with just commute time and just the, like, I don't know, the animosity that comes with that. Like, I just feel like people driving to work every day, like, it is a big point of tension. Like, I know for a fact, like, I hated my commute. Like, I had a 45-minute commute one way for a long time, and like, it sucked. Like, it wasn't just like a 10-hour workday, it was a 12-hour workday because I had to drive 2 hours, an hour in each end of it.
And you already worked crappy hours.
Yeah, so I can definitely
all sorts of bad.
Appreciate the allure of working from home or wanting to stay from home. Like, and now that I do work from home, it's been fantastic.
I miss working from home.
Absolutely.
Just kidding. I don't know. So, yeah, I do.
But I guess other just ups and downs we've had. I mean, we luckily haven't had to deal with any health issues. We haven't been exposed to anything crazy. We haven't really had anything besides like, normal, like a stomach bug or allergies or things like that.
We haven't even really had anything like that.
Yeah, we've been relatively healthy.
To be fair, we've pretty much stayed in this house.
That's very true. Yeah. So I guess when you just completely avoid the world, and wear a mask everywhere you go, like, you're probably not going to get sick. Like,
it works well, guys.
It works pretty good at flattening the curve, guys. Like, just stay home and enjoy your family.
Dr. Fauci's right. Yeah. It does work well.
But yeah, I mean, we've just been, I don't know, I feel like we've been pretty productive this year. It's been a lot of fun to just like have time to do things that we have wanted to do.
Yeah.
Just last week we tore out a wall in our house because we had time.
Yeah, we told them.
Yeah, we did.
But it was fun.
It was fun to be able to do that. And just, I think that's been the greatest, like, takeaway from 2020 for me, is just learning to appreciate the time that we have.
Yeah.
With each other, the time that we have as a family unit, the time that we have just here on Earth in general, like, just being able to just really appreciate those small moments that I think will be memories for our kids forever. I mean, I don't think our kids are going to forget this. I mean, luckily they're like at the age right now where, they're going to remember things. You know what I mean? Why are you yawning so much?
I don't know. I keep yawning. I'm
It's
sorry,
like
guys.
8:15.
I know.
Are you
I can't
100 years old?
I might be.
I don't know about you guys, but we have a problem. When we get home from work or from doing whatever, like I'm tired.
So tired.
And
like today I got home from work and we hung out for a little bit, but then we had to take the cat to the vet because she's being a jerk.
Yeah.
She's been peeing outside of her litter box, which can be a sign of like medical issues. So we wanted to rule that out.
But it could also be a sign that your cat is just stressed out. Like, what? Like, I don't know if you guys knew this, but like I learned this today. Like if a cat gets stressed out, then they can have like urinary tract issues. Like that is horrible. Like, and so the vet was like, oh, like, have there been any changes in your house lately? Like, and it could be like anything small, like something you may have overlooked or not seeing as a big deal. And I was like, I mean, everything this year has changed. Like, where
do we begin?
I was like, yes, 100%. But like, what a terrible response. Could you imagine if as a human, like you got stressed out and you're like,
you peed places.
I gotta go to the doctor because I just can't stop peeing everywhere. Like,
you're like sitting on the couch just peeing.
Like I can't imagine. Like, what a terrible life. Like, it's just like solidified for me, like the reasons why like dogs are better than cats.
I mean, but she's much happier now.
I mean, I guess.
She had her first dose of her medicine, so hopefully it'll
start helping. Like, we still care about our animals for sure. Like, we took her to the vet. Like, it wasn't I guess we're just going to let you pee everywhere.
No,
like,
no, that's nasty.
Yeah, it was horrible.
And we were cleaning it up just to be clear.
Just to be like, we don't have to have like a cat pee house. We're not those crazy people.
No.
But yeah, it's just like, it just seems like, I don't know. I just can't believe that was a symptom of stress.
Well, and she told us if this medicine doesn't work, we'll have to get her stress food. I'm sorry, it's so funny. She's going to have to eat specialty food if she doesn't.
I just keep thinking of like sleepy time tea and like is it just like loaded with like chamomile and catnip?
Or is it like how people stress eat?
It's their stress food. Maybe we'll finally have a fat cat.
Yes. Goals. Oh, it's all I want in life. I mean, that's not all I want in life, but still.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, our kids joke all the time about that. Like, Mom, can we just have a fat cat? Like, can we make her fat? Like, I don't know how you can just make her fat. Like,
I think
she eats what she eats.
Yeah.
And then the dogs finish it for her.
Yeah. That's how Lemon got fat.
Yes. Our Great Pyrenees.
She gained 30 pounds in quarantine.
We talked about the quarantine 15, but yeah, she is like a propane tank with legs. Like, she is fat.
Leave her alone. She's amazing.
She is a lovely dog. She is my favorite dog ever.
But she has gained 30 pounds in quarantine. Send help.
It might just be because she's getting older, but
I think it is because she's 6 now, so
yeah,
she's getting up there.
She is getting up there, but yeah. So we just had a crazy year this year with, like I said, with starting a business, but it was more than that. It was a decision to break the norm. Yeah. It was a decision to start something that we've wanted to start. Mm-hmm. It was a decision to make a change and not go back to normal work.
Well, and I think we talked about this and hit on it a lot in our podcast about starting a business in the pandemic, but just really like that realization when we had that time that like, this is awesome. Not that we like didn't want to work or anything like that, but like, how can we get this kind of time? And I think we found that.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, just trying to find a balance, I think, is what it comes down to, and trying to figure out what we can do to maximize our family time. Because, like I said, like 2020 for me has been all about like finding priorities.
Yeah.
And for us, family has always been a priority, but like I feel like 2020 has increased that level. Like it's made it more important to us because we got this time together.
Well, I think like for you had never been able to spend time like this with our kids before.
No, never.
Like ever.
No.
And really even with me, because you've always had to work, and even when I wasn't working, you were still working.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
like I got the luxury of time like this with the kids for 10 years, but
yeah, without having to get them on Zoom calls.
Yeah.
You just got to have like all the fun, like I'm a baby years.
Well, and toddler,
and the
three toddlers.
And yeah.
3 toddlers.
Like I said in the last episode, guys, her job was way harder than mine.
I will say, guys, somebody like this or comment if you agree, like preteens are harder than toddlers.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
They explode at things that you're like, I'm not real sure what's happening right now.
Like our kids tonight, so we have a TV hanging on the wall in our living room upstairs, and it has a Fire Stick TV on it from Amazon, and it when it goes to sleep, it has these really pretty pictures that cycle.
Yeah,
and so our youngest,
they are really cool.
Yeah, our youngest turned the TV on because she wanted to see the pictures, but it has to load up and then go to sleep and then rotate through things to get there. And our preteen was just being nasty to her and just turning it off. And just
you don't need the TV on.
Just because he wanted to be in charge, I think.
Probably.
And he just kept doing it. And we're like, dude,
and it made
stop.
her so mad.
She was so mad. And just unbelievably mad.
Screaming.
Yeah, so that's our life right now, guys.
Yeah. But seriously, I don't there's something to preteens, and I know it's probably hormones and gross. Don't want to talk about it, but I just disgusting.
Yeah.
But we're truly, they are. It's awful. They've taken our sweet children to devil children.
I wouldn't go that
still
far.
Love them.
They're great,
but they can turn on you in
it's just
2
wild.
seconds flat.
But
that way.
we talked about earlier, I don't think that the fact that it's coming up to Christmas break is helping.
No.
And the fact that it's also cold outside, so they can't typically during the middle of the day, one or two of them, or sometimes all three of them, would go outside about lunchtime, and they go run around, they go ride their bikes,
and
they
would help.
They go outside and have some activity. But when it's 32 degrees outside,
today it was 25.
Yeah, nobody wants to be outside.
Nobody wants to be.
And so, especially our kids,
unless there's snow.
Yeah,
nobody wants to.
I mean, our kids are perpetually cold as it is, and so wanting to get them to go outside is almost impossible at this time. And then it's just and then with construction in the backyard, there's nails and screws and things like that because we're building a deck on our house, and so I don't want them to run through that and have to get a tetanus shot. It's just all sorts of bad. And so
would they have to if it was a new nail?
Probably not. No.
I don't know how tetanus works. Is it
rusty.
only rusties?
Yeah.
How does rusty stuff give you tetanus?
I don't know.
I've always wondered, is tetanus in the rusty stuff?
I think tetanus comes from the rust. I don't know. Or it's the way your body reacts to it. I have no idea. I'll find a video about tetanus and I'll link it in the show notes. That way you guys can find out too.
Well, I want to know now.
Then I don't know. We'll find out at the break.
Okay.
But we, so just being cooped up inside is just hard for them.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I can't wait for Christmas break to where, one, we don't have to be on so much of an agenda.
Yeah.
And then two, we're able to hopefully get outside and do some stuff. Even if it's cold outside, even if that means we go and drive somewhere to go look at something cool.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to have just 2 weeks of just time with you guys where we just get to enjoy.
Agreed. And I think, part of that whole getting out and doing stuff, I feel like it's easier to motivate kids sometimes to get outside when you do it as a family.
Totally.
So if we go on a hike or whatever, because it's us bundling them up and getting them ready and telling them what they need instead of them just running outside at lunch.
In sandals and shorts.
That would help. But I just think too, we push and push and push our kids, and I see it in schools. We push our kids to heights that they really shouldn't be expected to go to.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so hard on them, and they are stressed. I mean, I saw 6th grade girls today freaking out that one test that they got a B on would affect their grade. I mean,
it's 6th grade.
Freaking out. And I was like, whoa, I did not care that much in 6th grade about my grades.
I didn't care that much when I was a senior in high school about my grades.
Well, I still went to Welsh Hills, so we didn't really have grades.
So Welsh Hills is, for those of you who don't live in Granville, Ohio, it is
Be nice about it.
It's a progressive school. We'll call it that.
It's a Montessori-based school.
It's a Montessori-based school. But it's a very progressive education. It's kind of I don't know. It's different than what you would see as a public education.
So I was raised in the school basically you set your own pace for learning. So if you're not learning something, that's okay. your body or your brain is probably just not ready for that yet.
Yeah.
So like, say you can't read yet. Well, maybe you're just not developmentally to that point where you're capable of doing that, which honestly, I think was a really great way to learn, because
It is.
while I was still getting the information, it wasn't this like, oh my gosh, you're not to this point yet, and blah.
Yeah.
Like,
it takes a lot of the pressure
because
off,
I
I
am
think.
a slower learner sometimes.
I think
I used to
on
be.
certain things.
I used to be. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way. Like, I feel like until I really hit about 7th, 8th grade, it did take me a long time to like learn and process things. And then after that, once I had that base knowledge,
You were
it was
good.
really easy.
Yeah. But so, yeah, it's a learn at your own pace type thing. But like they also call their teachers by their first names.
Yeah.
And
It makes
it's just,
more sense to me. I don't like being Mrs. Butcher at school. It's weird.
It's
That's
just,
your
it's
mom.
a respect thing. But
They could call me Jess. I don't care.
right, it's your name.
I know. I've never understood that the whole.
Yeah, but it's just
Thing.
so she went to school there. It was just a more progressive schooling.
Yeah.
But I think it was.
But I do think having gone through that, not having to take standardized tests, like because it's a private school and
yeah.
we didn't have to at the time. I don't know. They might have to now, but just not having to have that pressure and be able to learn and grow. You're picking things off of me.
You have a
Dog
hair.
hairs. Yeah, being able to learn and grow and not have so much pressure, because
Yeah.
kids now have so much pressure.
That's such an early age.
Then that leads into like these breaks being so crucial, and explains why they are so spent by the time they get to breaks,
Yeah.
because
I mean, I don't ever
it's
remember.
too much.
I don't ever remember being this tired in school. Like I see it in our kids. Like, I mean, Jude today or yesterday was just like, Dad, I'm just so tired. And like they get a good night's sleep. Like they sleep pretty well, I think. And like he's
We're pretty
spent.
strict about bedtime.
Yeah, I mean, but he's just spent. He's just tired. He's just worn out. Like he's just had to do a lot on his own, I feel, just because of online learning and things like that. It's
Yeah.
hard for him. And I mean, not schooling isn't hard. It's just, I think the timing and just the constant is go, go, go is hard on him. And it's just
hard on everybody.
stressful. Yeah.
Everybody needs a break after that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of breaks, we're going to take a quick one here, and then we will learn why you get tetanus from rusty nails.
Yay!
And we will let you guys know when we get back from the break. And we'll also talk about like how we can overcome some stressors, how we can kind of move forward in this year, and what we're looking forward to in 2021. We'll be right back. All right, guys, and welcome back. So after we researched a little bit about tetanus online, our minds were a little blown.
Yeah.
So we have...
Oh, we're all in danger.
Yes, so we found
everywhere.
out that tetanus is not from rust. Tetanus is
No.
actually from a bacteria, which I think I thought that was true, but I didn't realize that
makes
that's
sense.
exactly what it was. But anyways, so tetanus grows in like super rich organic soil.
Like
As well
manure-y
as
soil.
like dead leaves and things like that.
Yeah.
And you can get tetanus from any sort of scratch on your skin. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a rusty nail that gets you.
Vaccinate kids.
And on top of that, there's only a 50-50 chance that you're going to recover from tetanus. And in 10% of cases, it's fatal. So that's terrifying. So I had to get some coping mechanism. No, it's bad. But it was wild, though. Like, I just couldn't believe
It's
that.
a little terrifying.
Yeah. So,
I mean, because you always hear like, oh, if you step on rusty nail, you'll get tetanus.
just like that, like
Yeah.
your whistling grandfather.
Yeah. I feel like it's always grandpas and moms that say things like that. And then you're like, oh gosh, okay.
Like, this is a
but
big deal.
now I know tetanus is everywhere.
Yeah, that's a big deal. So, yeah, I just thought that was a little wild. But anyway, so we wanted to talk about how to overcome stress. And that kind of stressed me out about just walking outside barefoot now. So anyways, I think that with 2020 being so stressful for so many people,
Yeah.
I think that we've kind of already touched on it. I think that the biggest solution is just kind of focusing on what is actually important.
Yeah.
Focusing on the things that matter to you, the things that mean the most to you, and being able to just kind of roll with the punches sometimes.
That's not always easy, but
It's not, but
if you can learn to do it.
All honesty, though, like that is a big part of it. I think if you are able to just kind of let things roll off your back and not get so worked up about stuff, like I think that can really alleviate a lot of stressors.
I feel like I'm not one to talk about stress because I do not handle stress well.
Like not at all.
I either get like this horrendous back pain. It's like immobilizing and I can't get rid of it. And it just keeps getting worse as I don't know why I'm laughing at this, but it just
it's hilarious
because
like you stress out and you get these like muscle cramps almost. It's like you carry so much tension in your neck that it like paralyzes you.
It's just
and
like
then
that.
like you get stressed out about being stressed out
because it hurts.
And then it just makes it worse.
Or stress eating. That one is
stress eating. Yeah.
That's been not good to me this year.
Or you just get like you just cry. Like that's another way you deal with stress.
Another one.
Yeah.
No, so stress eating example. So work's been pretty stressful, as you can assume, because kids and masks system. And trying to, still do my job, but from 6 feet away. So like poke them with a pole. I don't know how you, whatever. Anyway, so a student gave me a gift the other day of candy. And they were like yummy candies, like, like the Lindor truffles and like Ghirardelli barks and all of that. And so I day one, I just had like one of them. And then the next day it was like pretty stressful. So I went back to my office at the end of the day and I was just like eating them. And then my coworker comes and knocks on the door. My door has a giant window. And I was like, you just saw me stress eating candy. I was like, I'm so embarrassed. She was there with one of my students.
Just watching you shovel chocolate in your face.
I was like, how long have you been standing?
That's like a scene from a movie. Oh my gosh. That's too good. Yeah, well, I think I'm just upset that you didn't share candy with us. You've been talking all week about how you want candy. Meanwhile, you're shoveling candy into your mouth at work and not sharing.
It's all gone now.
Oh, okay, because you ate it all.
That's true.
Consolation prize.
I brought you an orange.
Oh, so much better.
Those oranges are amazing.
They were really good, but they're not chocolate.
There's a family that brings in like a huge box of oranges every year to give out to the staff and teachers. And oh man, are they good oranges. I don't know where they find them, but they're really good.
I don't know. Magic factory of oranges.
Magic oranges.
Yeah.
Of goodness.
But I think that for us as photographers, we've really noticed a trend of like finding where your priorities lie. I think that a lot of people, especially in the wedding industry, are really starting to focus on that and starting to realize that do we really need this 300 person wedding? Do we really need like everybody have a +1 on their guest list? Or do we just want to invite the people that really matter to us? And there's a guy that we follow on Instagram. His name's Miles Whitboyer.
He's really good. You should check him out.
He's a fantastic photographer, but he's also just like a super down to earth human.
Yes.
But he was talking today about challenges, sharing in his stories about challenges in 2020 and talking about how weddings in particular, you're going to all these weddings are starting to be a lot smaller.
Yeah.
And you're starting to have like 25 to 50 people at weddings because of COVID. But because of that, a lot of the people that you invite are going to feel like they were intentional.
Yes.
They're going to feel like they were an integral part of your wedding day because they were a part of your wedding day. And that it's going to be more enjoyable and it's going to mean more to you because of the people that are there. But it's also going to mean a lot to your guests because they're like, wow, like of all the people that you know, like I made the list. Like I got invited to share in this awesome moment with you. And that's going to be something that people are going to remember for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Like these small, intimate get-togethers. And I just think that speaks volumes to like prioritizing your life and just being able to like just focus in on the small things and focus in on the things that matter.
Yeah. I'm thinking back as you're talking to like the weddings that we've been invited to, and truly the ones that you are a part of that are smaller, like it really does feel like, well, not even just that it's intentional that you were there, but that like that you matter to their story, that you matter to them, and not that you should be even a single necessarily a part of it. Like,
Yeah.
it's their day. Obviously, I'm not saying that at all. Like, it's their day regardless. But I think that the people a couple invites really should be like meaningful and intentional. And I'm kind of stoked to see this whole change in the wedding industry.
Me too.
I hope it sticks. We had a small wedding and it was
awesome.
So great. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't.
Speaking of small wedding, your mom just sent us pictures.
Oh gosh,
of our wedding 13 years ago, and man, those sucked. Like, it was bad. Like, she sent us a picture of me and you, and my only comment back was, cute. But why?
But why? And then there was a picture of my sisters, and one of them was wearing these weird socks, and then they were fighting about who was more fashionable. It was quite the...
It was great.
Anyway.
Anyways, but yeah,
it was great.
But the weddings we have been a part of, like, have been great because of the fact that they've been smaller. And I think that, like, when you hire your photographer, your vendors or anything like that, you are inviting those people in. And so being able to, you know, invite people into your wedding that are beneficial to you, and or that are appreciative of the fact that, like, you know, you chose us. Like, I think that that's really pretty awesome for us to, especially to be able, like, wow, like, they thought that we were good enough to document their day, one, but also, like, they trust us. Yeah. They trust us to be a part of this, like, intimate family affair, like, or this, like, really small gathering of, like, their closest friends, and they're inviting us into that fold and, like, making it so that we are part of that day. Because, like, our philosophy with, you know, serving our clients is really that, like, we're not just photographers, like, we're there to be of service to our clients and be able to help them with whatever that may be. And so they really are inviting us into their day.
Well, I think a really important thing for brides and grooms to be thinking about is, like, when you do choose that smaller wedding, you kind of get this beautiful opportunity to, like, splurge a little more in other areas because you don't have to spend as much on food and drinks because that stuff is expensive. Like, that's one of the things that adds up the most in the entire wedding. And so then you could maybe spend more and get the venue you really wanted, or spend more and get the photographers you really wanted, or whatever it is. Like, you can, or get the dress you always dreamed of. Like
the things that matter, like, right? Like the things that you're going to remember,
because
the things
then
that
you're going to invite the people that matter too. And you're not going to invite, like you were saying, everyone in their plus one. Like, I remember when we were making our initial list before we had to scrap our whole wedding, like, there were hundreds of people on that list. And it was like, why do I even care if this person from high school comes to my wedding? Like, we're still kind of friends, but...
Well, we booked a venue and they're like, okay, like, you could have this many guests. And we're like, well, if we're paying for this place, like, we're going to have that many guests. Like, and so we were just, like, stretching to find whoever we could.
I don't even think it was that necessarily. I think the example we'd been given of weddings was that you invited everyone who'd, like, ever been a part of your life at any point in time.
It was a big time to show off, right? Like, look at me. Like, all eyes on me. Everything is about me. Like, it's important. Like, I'm important. Like, it's my big day, blah, blah, blah. But, like,
I've never thought about it.
No, you never did. But nowadays, it's like, look at how much the world's changed. Like, it's not, yes, it's still your big day. Yes, you're still important as a bride and a groom. Like, it is a celebration of your love for each other. But, like, now it's a celebration of your love for each other with your closest family and friends. Yeah. And that is so much more impactful and so much more meaningful. And then it's going to translate over to your pictures and to the memories you make, and over to how confident you are on the dance floor. Because, like, heck, I don't want to dance in front of 200 strangers. Or, I mean, I guess maybe strangers are probably easier than people you know, but either way.
I don't know. You wouldn't dance anyway. I wouldn't dance
regardless, but yeah.
We did not dance on our wedding day.
We did the normal dances.
No, we didn't.
We didn't?
No, because you didn't want to.
Well, okay. But either way. So I think that's a key takeaway, is just focusing on the little things. Yeah. I know that we've really taken the time to turn inward to our family. And it's paid off dividends. Like, I think that we have a closer relationship, you and I,
For sure.
We are closer than we've ever been, which is super awesome. And that goes back to, just doing the little things like communicating, like doing this, like we do this podcast so we can talk. Like, it's a plus that you guys get to hear it. Like, it's super awesome to get this out to you guys.
Is it a plus for them?
I don't know if it's a plus for them, but like, I like to be able to share it, and it gives me an outlet to like use all our cameras and lights and stuff. And it's really fun. But like at the same time though, it's a time for us to spend together and time for us to do something together and create together. And it's fun.
It is really how I hit my face on my mic.
These are sturdy microphones too.
They are, and it's like they're bigger than the last one. So I'm like, oh, it's right in my face. Sorry.
Well, you don't get that annoying noise anymore when you hit the microphone.
Oh, so, that's true. That's a lot nicer. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just smacked my face.
Just the little things too of like, I mean, we're building a business together. Like that's not a little thing, but like we're doing it together. And that would have never been possible without this pandemic.
Not at all.
It would have never been possible if we didn't focus inward on what we desired as a couple and what we desired as our life together, and finding the way that we could strive to attain that.
For sure.
And so I think that's a big step for most people is like taking that leap to like find the things that make you feel fulfilled, that make you feel happy, that make you feel like you aren't like constrained to something. Like, if you hate your job, like find something new. Like if you like 2020 is like the year of reinventing yourself, I feel.
Yes, it is.
And it's a year of just reinvention in general.
I mean, if Facebook or Instagram or any indication of people reinventing themselves, then yes.
I mean, how many of your guys' friends have like started a company? Like whether it's like baking or like they're like, I can like make chai. Speaking of, we have a fantastic chai tea guy.
So good. And a baker, actually.
And a fantastic baker. We put some pictures up on our Instagram.
It's so awesome. It's awesome to see people like get away from the stuff that's just like, okay, I feel like we are one of the few countries in the world, at least developed nations, where, and maybe besides like Asia, because like Japan and South Korea are definitely not in this, but I feel like we're one of the few nations in the Western world that really focuses on like, well, what do you do for a living? And it's like, or what do you do? That's what we'll say. Well, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you mean, what do I do? If you went to anywhere else in the world and asked someone what do they do, they'd be like, what do you mean? Because yes, they have a job and you might say, oh, what's your job? But that doesn't define them. And in so many countries,
like, that's like a taboo subject almost.
I think it was Finland tried to do like 4-day work weeks and they're like trying to change a bunch of stuff. I just hit my face on the microphone again. Oh, I suck at this. But anyway, like I just feel like we are one of the few places where you are defined by your work. Yeah. Instead of the fact that your work gives you an ability to live a life. Yeah. And I think that in that definition of like work defining you, we lose track of what's actually important. Totally. And so when we maybe take that shift and look at it a little more like our European friends who are able to see that a job is a job, it's a means to an end, like it doesn't really matter as much. Yeah, because I mean, we've said it before on this channel, like we want to work to live, not live to work. Yes. And that's the main reason that we wanted to start a photography business or just a business in general. It happened to end up being photography because we both love it. But it was more so like, what can we do to give ourselves, one, the financial security that we need to raise a family? Yeah. But two, what can we do that will create an opportunity for us to enjoy our lives more? Yeah. To have more free time, to not be strapped down to working 60-hour work weeks. So like, well, and so much of what we do in that 60-hour work week, so much of what we strive for is so we can have more stuff, so we can have more, whatever it is, like a bigger house or whatever. And actually, I just saw this thing on CNN the other day that was talking about that the mass of the created things that we've put on the earth at this point weighs as much as the earth. And they were saying like, we really might need to start considering like what we need in life because the mass is equivalent to the earth's mass at this point, like with buildings and that's crazy, with stuff and plastics and all these materials that we've created and have for the garnishing of stuff. You know what I mean? Like when you think about it, really, it's so that we can have more stuff.
Yeah.
Like we get bigger houses so we can have more stuff, or so we can show off to other people, or so that, you know, maybe we think people will think we're cooler or better, or maybe it's just you really like big houses, whatever that is. But like, I think when you really start focusing your priorities back, like we've been talking about, to like your family and the things that really matter, those things become really unimportant.
Yeah. Really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we're doing all this stuff on our house, but it was like a have to, not
Like our deck was like rotten all the way down. Like we had like, I think it was carpenter ants, and then they got in, and then water got in. It was just a whole big mess. But like, so we had to do it. But like, it wasn't like a luxury item. But yeah, we have focused inward, and I think that that's a big thing for us. And so I want to challenge you guys to focus inward.
Absolutely.
Like focus on your family, focus on the things that you find joy in, that you find happiness in. Start a small business, a little side hustle. If that's what you want to do, maybe that side hustle will become a main hustle. Like work hard at the things that you love, because they're going to pay off the dividends. And what I mean by that is not like, don't love your career more than you love your family. Like work hard at the things you love, as in work hard on your relationship with your spouse, work hard on the relationship with your kids, work hard on making time for your family, work hard on chasing passions and hobbies and like fun, because those are the things that you're going to remember. Those are the things your kids are going to remember. Those are the things that are going to pay off dividends far more than
any financial,
a full bank account. Like, I mean, it's so important to focus on those small things because they pay off big time. Well,
and I think one of the best ways to really think about whether it's going to be important or not, because those things can get a little muddled, right? And the day in and day out of life, those priorities can get muddled. I think one of the best ways to question whether they are the right thing or not is like, when I'm on my deathbed, will this be something that like I hold dear to?
Yeah.
And honestly, if your family is not the main thing, if your, you know, kids, your spouse are not the main things, then you're probably doing it wrong. Because no amount of worldly success is going to get you anywhere. Like truly.
I mean, we talked about this in our first episode, I think, and I mentioned a song. I just brought it up again for me. Like, it's a band named Coin, and they have a song called Cemetery, and it just talks exactly like what you're talking about how this guy worked so hard and gave up everything for what he thought was success for his family. But like, all it was just emptiness. Like he didn't spend time with his family. He didn't spend any time with his kids, and like had no memories, but he had a full bank account, but he was the richest man in the cemetery. And that means nothing. Like, it does. You can't take that stuff with you when you leave. Like, just enjoy the time you have here.
For sure.
So with that, guys, I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you guys got some value out of this content and that you enjoy listening to our ramblings on this episode, because it felt like that a little bit.
It did.
But you know what? Sometimes that's real life. Like, we just want to be real with you guys. We want to share where we're at and what we're doing and what we're thinking. And that may not always look like a concrete topic, but I feel like it's still good. It's still good to come around and come to a point where I feel like we got there. So if you got any value out of this content, guys, feel free to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. It does help us out. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to like the video. Also subscribe and click the bell so you can get notified for future videos like this one. And I will be posting a video on YouTube this week. I keep saying that more videos are coming, but I will be posting one this week. It's a little bit of a photography tutorial. And then we will hopefully be putting out one every other week is what I think I'll try. So, yep. So I look forward to that, guys. And on that note, we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah. Have a happy holidays. Hanukkah's right now, so have a happy Hanukkah. And we'll see you later. Bye.